Clinical Decision Support, or CDS, is a feature allowing queries to be built offering notifications on patients' charts to trigger actions from a clinician or staff member upon opening the patient's chart. Search criteria can be built to identify specific patients using the query builder, choose to activate them to notify on charts running in the background, or to have them saved for running reports on an as-needed basis. To find CDS queries, at the top you will go to Setup and hover over Charting Setup and down to CDS Query Setup. And here you will see a number of different buttons at the top, your list of current active queries in the middle box here, and then at the bottom we have some more details around the specific queries. So to create a new query, you would simply click on New. Down in the bottom in the description box is where you would enter the name of the query. If it is an active query, that would be the name that would appear on the patient's chart as well. You'll see it defaults to Notify on Chart and Notify on Appointments. We would uncheck those, enter in the name here, and then we would save it. So I'm going to just look at a test query here. If you want to delete a query, obviously you highlight the query you want to get rid of and click on Delete. If you want to make a copy of a query, you can highlight it, click Copy, and it's going to make a copy, and it will change the name to have Copy at the front of the name. Before you do anything, always click on the Save. Clicking Undo is going to reverse the last action that you did, and then close. We'll just close out this window altogether. So then at the bottom here, there is a few other options here. So Notify on Chart, if that is checked off, it will appear at the patient's top of the chart here in red. You'll see that notification is pending. Just click on this and you will see that query as well. If the Notify on Appointments checkbox is marked off, it will appear on the patient's appointment. So if you go to the schedule, open the appointment, you'll see it in red here as well. Click the plus and you'll see what that patient is due for potentially. A couple other things down here are you can set the priority to normal. You can change it to higher or lower as well. You can defer by a set number of days. So if I was to set this to defer for 30 days, I'm going to save it. If I then go back to my appointment patient here, click on here, it will give you that defer button, and that defer button will default to that 30 days based on what you set up in this defer by the number of days. You can see confidential here. You can set it to be confidential to certain people. So I have it set up here to be a specific doc skill. And then if you have a confidential here, you do need to have a specific doctor's name in this text box as well. And then obviously save it. So if you have it confidential, as an example on the patient's chart, I cannot see what that second query is. I'm not Dr. Test. In the next video, I will just go over how to build a query, as well as the CDS query report that can be generated.